Here's a story. You're in college, about to get your degree, while also working in the hospital. One day, you get on the train, and a woman begins aggressively talking to herself.
So where y'all bitches get pushed?
For your protection, you pretend to be on the phone while recording your surroundings. As you exit the train, she follows you and throws acid all over your face. Feeling the burn instantly, you walk to the hospital knowing you will never look the same again. Trappin Anonymous. When that acid landed on your face, what were you thinking?
Honestly, like immediately, it was excruciating pain. Like it was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Like even when I went to the hospital and they asked me, like, you know, through 1 through 10 or whatever, what's your pain? I just kept saying 2,000 and above.
What's good? My name is Truesdale. This is Trappin Anonymous. Welcome back. Welcome back. Shout out to everybody keeping the movement moving, making us the #1 in Black true crime. We really appreciate it. If you want to send me a story or hit me up, do remember it's at Chris Styles on Twitter. It's at Chris Styles on Instagram. At Trappin Anonymous on Instagram. Send me a DM. I do reply to my DMs. That's how we get all these stories here. And just keep supporting and just keep helping us get this stuff out to the community. Do remember that these stories are here to inform, educate, and hopefully keep your little homie off the streets. My name is Chris Styles, Trappin Anonymous. Let's get it. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I start every episode with your name and why your story is important.
Okay, so my name is Juanita Jimenez, and I feel like my story is important so that I could like reach the type of audience that you know, needs improvement on the mental health or any type of help around that, and also to just spread awareness of the things that goes on in New York against Black women.
Straight up, straight up. Okay, take me back to that day.
So it was December 2nd, 2022, and basically I was on my way to work. I was working at Kings County Hospital, and I was a PCA there where I was like taking care of patients and things like that. And so as I'm on my way to work, this is the first day that I had moved to my Brooklyn apartment. So I was trying to like find my commute, and I wasn't familiar with it. So as I'm on my way to work, you know, I just happened to be at the last cart of the train. And so as I'm there, she got on the train when we both got on the train. And during that time, she's arguing with some random guy and things like that, but nobody's paying her any mind. It's like kind of how, you know, people are always just talking to themselves on the train. You just mind your business going about your day. So that's when my stop to get off to go to work was the next stop. And so I got off and she got off right behind me. So my gut feeling, I just felt like something was just wrong, because it's like, it felt like she was like, I just knew she was following me at this point. And so one thing my dad always taught me was like, if you just feel uncomfortable or something like that, act like you're on the phone with him, like act like I'm on the phone with my dad and record instead or whatever. So, you know, I'm on the phone, like acting like it. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm on my way to work, like, yeah, I'll meet you there, but I'm taking a video. And so with that video, that is how she got arrested too, because there was no cameras in the train station. So literally, but so after I took that video, as soon as we get to the top of the steps, she just threw the acid on me, ran before I could even open my eyes. So yeah, and I just went to work because I worked at the hospital, which was 2 blocks away. That's why I was getting off the train. And so I went to the ER, and yeah. Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
I had just turned 21. It was 2 months after turning 21. So I didn't even get to enjoy being 21 for too long.
Because of this incident?
Yeah, unfortunately.
For people that don't know, they sort of don't know the environment on the New York City subway, right? Especially post maybe COVID and a lot of the slashings and things that have been going on. I've seen that they upped police presence on the trains. But if you could speak about sort of the environment of a New York City train station, or being on a platform, or being on a train, how would you describe it?
It's definitely like, you just have to literally like just stay in one little bubble, really very much mind your business. But then even like you see on a day where you are minding your business, you could still have some type of situation occurring. But people are like, if you live in New York, you're very much familiar with how people just be talking to themselves. There's a bunch of crackheads all the time, and you know, they're just always just trying to start issues with people too and things like that. And even it's a lot of things lately where men is punching women in the face and things like that, and they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything to these men, and it's just like you fighting for your life every day on the
Straight up,
train.
straight up. Yeah, and it's the slogan on the train is like, if you see something, say something. And it's like kind of like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. Because
Exactly.
it's such a dangerous environment.
Yeah, because you don't even want to see something.
You don't
Like,
want to say something.
literally.
Okay. What are you thinking when she first gets on? Like, she's not directly talking to anybody. She just...
Yeah, well, she was arguing with some guy, but he wasn't he's literally just looking straight, and she's like behind him, just
Right.
like, you know, just trying to antagonize him and stuff. But like, literally, it was only like 6 people on the train, including myself, and so it was like nobody was paying her any mind, but she was just like just talking, but it sounded like gibberish, kind of like. So it was like you could never like make out the words that she was saying until we had gotten on. But my thoughts initially when she did get on the train was just like, okay, this is just one of those people on the train being crazy. I never would have expected that like she had acid in her pocket or that she would even throw it on me or anybody else on the train, honestly.
Right. And, you know, your dad reminding you, like, you know, just record, make sure, act like you're on the phone with me.
Yeah.
Is that something that, I don't want to say, do you regret kind of doing that? Because it's not like she saw you.
Yeah, she didn't see me. I don't regret doing it. I'm really thankful that I did take that video, because if not, she would still be like literally as soon as like the day of she ran to Atlanta, and the police was able to identify that from pinging her phone, and they didn't have any access to any of the cameras in the train station because they weren't working. So had that been and she really ran to Atlanta, she would have came back to New York doing the same thing to someone else. So I'm really glad that I did have that gut feeling that just something wasn't right. Like,
People are going to wonder why you didn't just get up and go away, walk away from her, don't even record, don't say nothing, just go.
and that's exactly, and you know, I understand. I feel like most of the people that would think that would be people who don't live in New York, because it's like I was doing exactly that. I was literally walking away the whole time. I wasn't talking to her, antagonizing her, like, oh yeah, like stop talking to me. Like I wasn't doing anything like that. I was literally just going on about my day, trying to get to work, take care of my actual mental health patients, and you know, and unfortunately, this just occurred. And it was because I was the only girl. I had gotten off at the like when we both got off, it was only me and her that was like walking down the whole platform. So it was like, had I ran, walked, flew, like she would have went right behind me and threw that acid regardless. I was the only person there.
You have this story is so viral on TikTok. It's so viral everywhere on these news platforms. I was just so happy that you were able to come and sit with us and just give us your testimony.
Thank you. I'm glad that you reached out.
Yeah, but I didn't hear about it through social media. I heard about it from another woman who the same thing happened to her by the same woman.
And I'm like, it's so devastating to even hear that. Like when she did tell me her story too, and then, you know, shared even the photos, I was just so distraught. Like, you know, I just was like, wow, like, and our scars look identical from when she was sitting in ICU, and so was I. Like how it indented in her skin, same thing with me. And it just was like horrific when she was telling me, and I just felt so sympathetic, because it's just like I literally understand exactly what she went through, like same person, like, and you know, it was crazy.
When that acid landed on your face, what were you thinking?
Honestly, like immediately, it was excruciating pain. Like it was the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Like even when I went to the hospital and they asked me, like, you know, through 1 through 10 or whatever, what's your pain? I just kept saying 2,000 and above. Like it was like I literally, before they even showed me like how I looked in the mirror before I went to the mirror, I thought it was holes in my face, because it was holes in my clothes. It was like it was during the winter, so I had a coat, a scarf, sweater, my scrubs, and it burned through literally everything. Even my mask, literally burned through my mask to get to my face. At the time, it did burn my hand, but my hand had healed, because I was like this. Like as soon as all I had time to do was flinch. So I just saw something going, and I just was like that. So thankfully, it didn't get in my eyes or anything.
Oh yeah, it's like right under, like a mist.
But immediately I just went into like medical mode. Like I just followed like unknown substance protocol. At the time I thought it was like poison or something. So I just removed everything that I can, ran to the hospital, and they thought I was a patient, but I'm like, no, I mean they thought I was a worker because I had the scrub. So I'm like, no, like I'm a patient. I need to clean my face off. So when we get back there, I'm cleaning it with the water, and then it's like, but it's burning because the acid is counteractive to water. Like if you mix acid and water, it's just really going to bubble and sizzle and stuff. And that's exactly what was happening. Like my face was like just hurting even more with the water. So, but I have to clean my face off. So, yeah. Wow.
For you to endure that,
It was ridiculous.
and
Like,
and we have the video. We'll show it. You just walked right in there, and just, hey, I need attention immediately.
yeah.
Just like the strength not to just sit there and panic, but just be proactive.
Yeah, because I can only imagine, like, especially working in the hospital, like, and being in the ER sometimes too, it's like people always coming in so frantic and stuff, and then it's hard to help them. You don't know what's going on. So I'm just like, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's like whatever is on my face, I need to clean it off. I already know the protocol. Just take me to the back, like, please, like. And it just was like, that's just all I was trying to do, and call my mom at the time. So, yeah.
I guess as you're sitting there and they're like, cleaning you up, you said if it would have got just a smidge higher, like your eye would be gone.
I'd have been blinded for sure.
What are you thinking about when you're actually in the hospital and it's sort of settling in? Like,
they had me unmedicated for like 4 hours. So I was still in pain. And then I'm just like, I just felt so hopeless. And I'm like, I literally was supposed to be going to this exact hospital to work. And now I'm a patient. Like, I couldn't fathom it. I was still in shock. I also just, once I called my mom, I just stopped talking. I stopped talking to the nurse. I stopped talking to everybody. I just was so depressed because it's like, also what really hurt me about it is that it's another Black woman. Like, it's another person that, like, we could have been sisters. If you had even had a conversation with me, if we had talked on the train, and I'm a very open person, if she like asked for directions or something, we would have probably started, getting to know each other, and this whole thing would have been completely different. But it's like you genuinely tried to disfigure my face, change my entire life because of a decision you made. And it was around the holidays too. Like, it was December 2nd, so it was right after Thanksgiving. So even the police had thought that it was like maybe she was having some issues with her family and she's just trying to ruin somebody else's life as a result of it. And it's just like I'm the nicest person ever. I pray every night. I pray before I eat. Like, I just didn't understand why me. That question alone was eating at me for months, honestly.
Yeah. Favor ain't fair. We don't get that right.
Exactly.
We don't get to say, because I do this, I get that, and we'll drive ourselves crazy, right? That's just not how God works.
It's not.
And you just being that vessel that sent this woman.
And that's exactly how I viewed it. Like, I don't feel like anybody else being put in that predicament would have thought to record, and she would have still been free doing it to more people. And I feel like God just know me. Every time anything makes me feel any uncomfortable, I always do that little phone thing, because it's just like anything could happen and I need proof. I need to, even if I was to get, unfortunately, God forbid, sexually assaulted, something like that, at least I would have proof of somebody who did it, anything like that. So it's like, I just felt like, yeah, God did use me as a vessel for that. And, like, I feel like he has given me more blessings than I could have ever imagined as a result of it. So I feel like it is helping me see that, like, unfortunate situations is not my story.
Yeah, your outlook, for you to be so young and have so much wisdom, I told you this before, but, that you have no idea the power that is over you and over your life.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so they go to Atlanta. They find her in Atlanta. Because sometimes these cases kind of get drowned out. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to look for them. We'll put a warrant out for their arrest.
Right.
And then nothing happens.
Literally. And that's what it seemed like. It was like going down that route. Like, I had asked, I was calling and calling, because it's like, I have a full video of this girl. Like, I got her in 4K. Like, literally.
Actually in 4K.
Like, I literally have her there. So it's like, I don't understand how y'all not getting her. Like, so, and they was like, yeah, she's in Atlanta. So that's like Atlanta police and stuff. So, and then it was just one day, like, literally, I believe, it was like, because she got arrested, I think, the 15th of January. So the day before that, I had called.
15th of January, which is approximately a month after the incident?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow,
approximately a month, yeah. So I had, the day before that, I had called the detective that was on the case, and I'm like, yeah, like, I understand that, yeah, I don't even know what y'all doing. I honestly don't even care. But if this girl flees again and then loses the phone because she realizes that y'all are finding her, I'm going to be very distraught, and it will be a case against y'all as the city, because that is literally insane. Like, y'all have her address. Like, I don't see what else is the issue. Like, and so, yeah, so then that's when the next day, that's when they got her and extradited her back to New York.
What did it feel like for you to be sitting at home with your face changed for life
It was
and
so,
knowing
sorry.
that this person is still outside?
It was like so like unsettling because one, I had just moved to that apartment the day that it happened. So it was like, I don't know this area. Like, and every time I go outside, people were asking, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, what happened? Is it a car crash? Like, did somebody like cut you? Are you in a gang?" Like, what? Like, so it was like things like that just didn't make me feel good. And then I didn't feel comfortable looking in the mirror. I was ready to put a whole sheet over my mirror, like take it down. Like, I was like, because it just keeps reminding me of this incident and it's no way I could forget it. And I just was so distraught. Like, my family, they was visiting me. They are like very big on support and stuff. They were supporting me a lot, but it just wasn't helping. Like, I was crying every single night, like, because it just was like, I just don't understand it, because, yeah.
Do you forgive her?
No, I don't actually. I don't. And she did apologize during the court case, but it was literally right before her sentencing. But I don't forgive her at all because it's like, you not only did you do this to me, you did this to someone else. And I'm sure there's probably other victims out there that's just not, saying anything. And it's just like, if you could do that to me while you have a 13-year-old son, you just literally deserve whatever God has in store for you.
Wow. Thank you for your honesty. They grab her. They extradite her to New York. Y'all go to. Do you testify? Do you take a stand?
Yes, I did. I did have to testify. It was actually a few weeks ago, and first, my lawyer, the district attorney, she had she spoke. Then she asked me questions. I just told the story and things like that. We looked at the videos. Then that's when her lawyer, he tried to cross-examine me, and like his approach was just like, it wasn't, he didn't really have a case, but what he was trying to kind of make it seem like he was asking me, he was like, "Oh, is it true that you have over 20,000 followers on TikTok?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "And millions of views?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, and this is a result of this incident, so technically you wouldn't have gotten your surgery or all of the like fame and stuff if you didn't go through this." Right. So my answer to that was like, nobody would want to go through a trauma to get clout. Like, I think I would have got clout any other way. I would have rather that. But yeah, so that was his case. It was like very detrimental to my mental health during that cross-examining. But I was very calm. I did what I did because my mom and my sister came with me. So it was just like, I was just very calm, and I'm just like, I'm gonna answer these questions because at the end of the day, she's going to jail. So
Yeah, I don't think I could ever understand those jobs and being put in position to have to defend monsters.
yeah,
You
I
know,
agree.
and sit there and talk to other people, innocent people, and sort of chastise them and put them down. I don't know how they sleep
Yeah,
at night.
and it's like, I get it, and that's what also I was giving him grace because it is your job, but yeah, you're not gonna be able to sleep at night. That's one of the things where your integrity is gone for money.
Wow. How much time did she get?
12 years.
Is 12 years enough?
No, I don't feel like 12 years is enough because the way that I had looked at it was like, if we both were to live to 100 years, and I'm not even 25, so this is gonna affect more than 75% of my life. And she was like 30 something or whatever. All I asked for, me and my district attorney, we were asking for 25 years. That's only 25% of her life as a result of this incident. So I feel like that would have been more fitting. But I am very thankful that she was arrested, and she did get time and things like that, because other people don't get that luxury, unfortunately. And yeah, so I'm very thankful for her to at least go away for some time.
Do you think you would ever get to a point where you'll forgive her?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think I've done a lot of healing. I definitely have a lot more to go, but forgiving her is not one of the things in my agenda, honestly, because I feel like I would have to give a lot of myself to even get to that point. And I don't hate her. I would never hope that she would die or anything like that. I just she has no control over me. Is
Right.
basically where I'm trying to get at in my healing journey.
Right. Oh, that's so good. That's so
Thank
good.
you.
And for you, I'm sure there's not a day that goes by where you don't think about what happened that day.
Yeah, literally, it's always a reminder. Even if it's something so small, like a song I was listening to at the time when I was depressed, it could be something so small, but it's it always reminds me of it. But I have been in therapy since then, and I feel like that has helped me a lot with just moving forward and canceling the noises out and things like that. Because now it doesn't even I feel like I'm at the point where I could like read my diaries. I've done that, and I read my diaries from when it first occurred, and I just feel like when I first read it, I just broke down crying because I just feel like I've grown so much since then, and I don't feel the way that I felt like. I felt like I was at the bottom of a sinking hole and nobody was hearing my cries for help, and now like I definitely feel like it's like a weight has been lifted since then.
Oh man, millions of views, millions of ears and eyes, and all of these people that have listened and supported you.
Yes, like that was
Praise
so
God.
helpful. It was, yes, thank God for real, because it's been definitely a journey.
What was the court process like? Was that detrimental to your mental health? Was the family antagonizing you? Did you get threats? Speak to us a little bit about.
So yeah, it was definitely stressful, the whole process of the trial, because they weren't even like accommodating my like school, like being that I was graduating. I had just graduated this May, and they waited this entire year. Remember, she was arrested in January of 2023. They waited this whole year to actually start the trial, and it was because her lawyer had other cases apparently. But I told them specifically, please, like, let's do this any other month beside May. Like, I just want to graduate. I want to take my finals without, being like stressed about this or thinking about it. And they just didn't allow that. We ended up literally doing it in May, like literally, and then for him to cross-examine me with that. But during the sentencing was when we saw the family, and then that's when they were trying to antagonize and like started arguing with me and my family and stuff like that. But it seemed like they were just trying to get us to like have a case against us kind of thing. But it just was like, it was very pointless. But they basically, like, her sister, there's another reason too why I wouldn't forgive her, because it's like her whole family is supporting this mess. Like, her sister is literally, she told me like, oh, well, that's why you're gonna have to live with that for the rest of your life. And this happened prior to the sentencing, nothing but like 10 minutes prior. They told the judge and all of that, and the judge didn't take that into consideration of giving her 25 years, like, and I understand that that's her sister, but like, like the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Sure don't.
So
What has been the most traumatic part about this entire ordeal for you?
I think the most traumatic part of the whole thing is definitely just getting accustomed to, like people asking and things like that. Like, I've never really been an open book as much as I thought I was. Like, I thought I always was like very transparent, but when it came to something like so serious as trauma and things like that, it was like I kind of became standoffish when people were asking me those questions in the beginning, like, oh, what happened? It was like I would just be like, I don't want to talk about it, and then it'll ruin my day. Like, it would ruin my week even, like, literally. But I've gotten to the point where I just be like, because people ask me if I'm in the middle of a club or something, like, just with my sister and stuff. People like, oh my God, what happened? And I just be like, you think I want to talk about it in the party? Like, now I kind of make light of it. But yeah, but that was the hardest part, dealing with that, the questions.
Well, I'm speaking to a future doctor.
Thank you.
Tell us, what did you graduate?
I graduated at Lehman with anthropology, biology, and chem major, and psych and bio minor.
I want to say I know what all of that stuff means and what it is, but I know it ain't easy to get a degree like that.
It's not. It's definitely not.
Did this sort of put your doctoral experience on pause for a little bit?
At first it did, honestly. It made me it took me a whole extra year to graduate and stuff, but I did change my major, because at first I was prior to this happening, I was just biology major, psych minor. But then after it happening, I just felt like, I need to learn more about chemistry, because it's not a lot of stuff on how it affects the skin beside it'll bubble up. But so that's why I added that to one of my majors and stuff, so that I could really get to the bottom of what's going on, understanding how, like, even when I explained how the acid in the water, like, why did the water hurt so much, like that, things like that, I just wanted to really understand on a thorough level and stuff. So
you've really found a new passion, because it's, no matter what happens in our lives, it's just so interesting how we're still on our path.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still right where we're supposed to be, no matter what. And we might not be appreciative of the circumstances, but in the end, it'll all make sense.
Literally, and that's what it seems like, for sure.
Talk to me a little bit about the surgery that you had on your face, the sort of reconstructive surgery. And
Yeah, so I went to Dr. Truesdale. Before I went there, he was in California. I was at Jacoby. That's when they transferred me. So when I first went to Kings County in Brooklyn, Then they transferred me to Jacoby in the Bronx because they have a burn ICU. So we did a few surgeries there where they removed like the outer layer of skin a few times, called like a debridement. And so when they removed that, then it was because like basically they're just trying to get rid of the acid. So at that point, then that's when I did that a few times. Then they had removed my entire nostril, so I only have like one nostril because it was like burned completely through. So my cheek was 2nd-degree burns, and then my nose was 3rd-degree, and my lip. So at the time, my lip was all the way lifted to my nose. And so, yeah, so at that point now we was planning to do my next surgery, which was to lower my lip. But, you know, the doctors at Jacoby, they weren't like, I didn't feel like they really understood what I wanted. Like, you know, I understood that I would have discoloration and it would be scars, but I wanted my lip lowered. When you first notice me, you'll notice my lip is all the way up here. So that's when one day I just was on Instagram, and then that's when I seen Dr. Truesdale was doing surgery. Yeah. So I just messaged him. I'm like, hey, you know, you're a Black doctor. I'm a Black patient. I just want to get a Black like representation, just to understand like better things, because I know like as a Black person we keloid, and so, and even like this scar on my shoulder, this is a keloid. This is how my face would have looked had I went to Jacoby, because he took different measures as doing radiation and doing like very precise different like incisions. So he had literally removed the entire thing of acid on my cheek, moved my cheek this way, and then took this piece of my shoulder to put on my ear here, and then he put radiation across my face so that it doesn't keloid. And so he didn't do radiation here because it's just a little like scar, and then this, and it was so that he could show me exactly what would have occurred too. And that's what I loved about him.
Crazy. Wow. That's miraculous though that they figured out this level of.
He did so much research, and it's no like Black patients who've done this surgery before. So it was like he's done this whole thing from going off a whim, like just so of his own, like, you know, and speaking with other surgeons that that has taught him and stuff like that. So yeah, like it was just amazing. So we really like, he did so much for even like surgery with history just now, because now we know that you could move skin like fabric, and radiation has an extreme effect on keloids.
Wow, and it looks good.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be real, like, you know, compared to the pictures that you were showing me, and with the work that they have done, it's amazing.
Thank you. He is amazing.
Talk to me about the PTSD that came following this event, and maybe what it was and what it is today.
Yeah, so when it first occurred, a lot of the PTSD that I had was like, if people are just walking by and they have their hands in their pockets, like I'm just uneasy, because it's like, I don't know what you got in here. And obviously living in New York, almost everybody does have some form of weapon. So it's like, I just felt uneasy. And then even if people are like running, even if they're not close to me, just running or anything like that, makes me feel just very scared. And even to this day, a lot of these things do still affect me to this day, just not as prominent. Like I'm able to kind of talk myself down and realize that it's okay, because I spoke with my therapist and stuff, and so she gives me different, you know, mechanisms to just breathe and realize that I'm not in danger. And then another thing too is like, if somebody are like like just yelling, like if two people are arguing down the block, they could be like 3 blocks away, but if I hear it, like my heart is just on 10. Like so, yeah.
Do you carry a weapon now?
I do. I definitely do, but I don't think that I would hope to use it. That's why I don't be in New York. So, and I usually take Ubers. So,
yeah, it seems like you like to travel a lot.
yes, yeah, and I don't take no weapons on the plane. So, yeah, it's a lot more safer.
Did you notice any difference in the way people were treating you? Maybe family members, partners, or friends?
Yeah, so basically, like with my like family and friends, it was definitely like a lot of pity at the time, and that really did affect me, because I'm not one of those people that really likes that, or like I'm always like, you know, the family clown basically. Like I make everybody laugh, so it's like I hated seeing everybody at the hospital just like, you know, crying and just feeling so bad about it and stuff. But after time, it got a lot better with them. As for like my relationship, like with my ex, like it was the same thing. Like he was also very like pity and things like that, and I wasn't a fan of that. And eventually I just felt like it wasn't gonna work between us. I did have to like, you know, cut that off as well, because I just felt like he wasn't understanding to my mental health. As a lot of my family weren't either. I had to set a lot of boundaries with everybody, because I felt like I used to be, and that's what was my frustration about, because I used to always be heavy on mental health. I always used to speak about how you needed to talk to people, check in. And I felt like nobody was listening. But as soon as I had this traumatic incident, it really showed how much people didn't like my family, how they didn't understand how to deal with mental health and stuff. So it was very frustrating. But eventually everybody got better. I set a lot of boundaries with like, don't talk about other things. Like you see how when people was punching people in the face, I was like, yeah, please do not bring that up to me. Like, I don't want to talk about any of that because it makes me uneasy.
Right. You said your ex, did y'all break up as a result to the accident?
It wasn't a result directly to the accident. We were still together for basically like a year after that. It's just that during my healing journey, I just felt like it just wasn't working, because it was like, I just felt like we kind of had to, we were comparing our traumas, and I just feel like he just didn't understand what I was going through. Like him being, a black man in New York, he has been through a lot, but I just went through something that I'm not accustomed to. I don't know, like I never, would have imagined being in a predicament like that. I'm planning to be a doctor. I would have never imagined I would be in any situation where my face is like disintegrating. So, and he just didn't really understand that, as much as he did try his best. So I just was like, it's just not working. So.
Feel that. I mean, your story is gonna. I always say our scars. It makes for some dope ass stories. Maybe because I'm in an art of storytelling, so maybe it could be a little morbid. But for me, like our scars, maybe some of the scars that people could see, and a lot of the scars that people can't see, it just makes for some really good storytelling, so that people could, really learn from all of this.
I agree, definitely.
What are some positive things that have come from this, and what are some negative things that have come from this?
I would say positive things. I would definitely say me changing my major and graduating. Thankfully, I was able to get that out the way, because that was a big thing on my shoulders. I will also say, like, I got like me and my mom and my sister have always been very close, but I feel like everything also makes us closer. So us all going through this, it just really showed like my mom that it's okay to be vulnerable too, because she was trying to be like as strong as she can, but it was certain times where it was like, Ma, like I need you to wake up, like I need you, like, and it was like, I understand that you would never imagine this to happen to your daughter, but this happened to me, and I need my mom, like, so it was like different things like that we all would cry together now. Like we would literally talk about a lot that we probably didn't, well, my mom didn't feel too comfortable talking to her daughters about her mental health and stuff like that, but now we unpack a lot of things with her, so that's positive. Negative, I would say definitely PTSD. And the fact that I have to live with this for the rest of my life is definitely like something I'm still getting accustomed to. So, yeah.
Do you feel safer with her off the streets?
Not really. Like I do feel safer with her off the streets, yes. But I would say I still feel very uneasy in walking anywhere, because it could be anybody. And as much as it took nothing for her to throw acid on me, it could literally take the next person to do anything to me, or just it to anybody around me or anything. So it's
a scary world.
It is. It really is.
The world
like,
it's beautiful. It is a terrifying place.
Exactly.
Oh man. If she was here right now, what's something that you would say to her?
That's a good thing. I'm not sure, honestly, but when I did make the statement to her, one of the things I was saying is like that, like, she tried to destroy me, and she's not going to be successful in that. And although this may be attached to my name for the rest of my life, being a doctor and stuff like that, she is going to read about me in the New York Times when I'm solving cancers or solving whatever. And she's always going to think that she had one up, and she didn't. So, yeah.
Never that. Never that. Is there anything that you would have done differently that day if you could go back in time?
That's a good question. Like if I knew that this was gonna occur, I just went to work, honestly. Like being honest, like I would have stayed my behind in bed.
But I'm a little tired.
Yeah, like I think honestly, if life was to just go back and I didn't have any thought that this would happen again, I don't think I would have handled it any differently. I think I probably would have still minded my business, recorded, and then asked it. Yeah.
You have any regrets in life?
I don't, honestly. I don't. I feel like, God always has a plan, and if I didn't see it in the beginning, but I do definitely see it now. I definitely do, and I'm sure I'll see it even more in the future. So,
what's something you would tell your younger self?
I would be like, ooh, Like, I don't even know, honestly. Like, I think I would definitely just tell my younger self that, like, just to take time with myself, like, you know, and prioritize myself a bit more than I
Yeah,
did.
you're still so young, 22 years old, and so much life ahead of you.
Exactly.
You know, and it's just such a positive attitude and
Thank you.
outlook for someone that has undergone something so strenuous. Like it's just, it's a joy to see
Thank you.
survivors, people that can even pour into other people, you know, and use their story as testimony. If there's something that you could tell someone that been through something similar to what you've been through, and they're feeling depressed, they're feeling like people are leaving them, relationships are ending, and they just don't have the confidence that they once had prior to this incident, what's something you would tell them?
My favorite thing to say to anybody struggling with any type of, like, you know, mental health or, like, you know, depression from trauma is, like, to take it moment by moment, not day by day, because it's like, you know, one moment can ruin your day, and that will ruin the next day and your week and your month. So take it moment by moment, realize that, okay, this ruined me right now, but let me go make a sandwich. Let me go walk outside. Like, let me go do something, you know, and support matters. Like, the people around you very much matters. And if they're not serving to your mental health, get a new circle.
This is Trappin Anonymous. My name is Chris Let's get it. Thank you. You're done.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, I
Thank
really appreciate
you.
it.